All right, Banshee Fury 750 coming at you from Illinois. All right, over the years, I'm constantly making improvements on my steed here. It's a Yamaha Banshee ZX7R. Love my Banshees, the looks of the Banshee, everything about it. But, once you do these ZX7R or street bike power swaps on these things, there's a ton of little details to do. You can get them up and running, you can build one quick. But then you've got to follow through with all the details. And unless you have a pit crew, it does take time. But you know what? It's part of the hobby. It's part of the fun. I really enjoy working on this. Sometimes I don't, but when I put pressure on myself. But overall, I really enjoy working on this thing. It's early today, so I figured I'd get a jump out here and do some things. And so what I wanted to cover was my overflow tank. I've been putting this off for a while now. This is the original Kawasaki ZX7R overflow tank. This is what came with the bike. This mounted, as you can see right here, let me zoom out. See this tang here and this tang here? And you see these bolt holes? So this originally was there. And that was set behind a fairing of that sport bike. You wouldn't see that. Okay, so for me, I just don't like where it's at. You know what I mean? It's blocking some of my chromage. These two guys here. And I also have a clutch basket cover that's chromed out also. So I've got a spare engine for this thing. So what I do is, it's nice to have a spare, because if I want to chrome out the valve covers, I can just take the valve covers off the other one, send them out to get chromed or powder coated, and then, during the off season, I can just bolt it on. So I have one ready. So this is one of the things right here that I sent out along with the timing cover, the dampener, and various other components on this ATV on the other side. But I wanted to go out there and ride, so I just didn't have the time to switch the cover out, the clutch cover. I had to order a gasket, new gasket, this and that. So I just left it like that for the season, and I just rolled the season like that. And this thing's been bothering me though. See this cover? And you know what? I wanted to keep it all functional, but now it's time to, I need to get this ugly thing out of here. And you can see how nice that looks. That'll make that engine pop once I put that chrome clutch cover on there. So the thing I've got here is, as you can see, this one came off of a ZX6R, Kawasaki Ninja ZX6. Got to clean it out. I'll probably paint it black also. My foot was rubbing here, so you can see where it just kind of wore that out. But I wanted to put this in a different location, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to use this one. And I'll show you why. Because I'm going to mount it back here. Okay. So, you know what, let me see if I can zoom out or what's going on here. Okay. So, I'm going to mount this sucker back here. So, you see how the nipple is on the bottom? How it's pointing down? Well, I don't want that. Because then it's just too long. See how that hangs down? So, as you can see the difference, let's see, this one's a lot shorter. There you go. See that? It's a lot shorter. So, that way it's not hanging down as much. And if you look at the nipple, I wish it was pointing forward versus pointing back. And I could have put it on the other side facing this way. But on the other side, I wanted the battery box. Because as you can see, the 4-cylinder engine is a little wider. So it hangs off to the right a little more than the left. So I've got the battery on the other side just to counter some of the weight. Try to balance out my ATV. So this is just a quick little update. I'm going to mount it there. So, and what I'm going to use this bolt right here, and I believe this was part of the heel guard assembly that would hold the heel guards in place, and the fenders, the rear fenders. This was like a support bracket or some sort bolt. And then I'm going to use a 6-pack rack one here. So I'm going to fabricate, I should do it out of aluminum is what I should do it out of. We'll see how that goes. I may just make that out of aluminum is what I may do. I've got some aluminum stock. But we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to mount it here. And as you can see, the nipple's facing backwards. So I'm going to have to run the holes this way and to their side, to the front. And then here's the overflow. So I might run that up with the little coil and then straight back. So in case any fluid, when I'm going up a hill, or if I accelerate real hard, if the fluid sloshes back and comes in here, I'll make a loop, a little drip loop, so that whatever goes in the line will drip right back. So that's going to be one of the little things I've got going on today. That's my plan, is to relocate that and get myself ready so I can put the chrome clutch basket cover, and that'll be a nice little improvement. So for you guys out there that are building a street bike powered Banshee, ATV, Raptor, this is just one of the things that goes along with this. One of the fixes. Now, real quick, I could have put it up here. I originally was going to put a battery. Now here's the front of the Banshee. Let me zoom out. There's the front of the Banshee, right? Let's go up. Let's walk in. Now you can see here, I was going to put it somewhere in the front, and that would be nice and convenient. You know what I mean? I mean, it really would be. Just to have your coolant bottle there, and you keep an eye on it. You know what I mean? Maybe a nice rock will come and bash it. I don't know. Maybe it won't. But I'm going to tell you one thing. One thing I surely do believe in is cooling. Why would you want to block airflow to your engine? Granted, it is liquid cooled, but why not take advantage of the extra flow coming around the block, cooling the crankcase, you know what I mean? To aluminum. So when air hits this, I mean, it cools off, believe it or not. It really does. So we want to leave that open. You know what I mean? I've got the header there. So the last thing I want to do is block any airflow in the front. If any. And I figured, even though this isn't a big deal, but if it hampers the airflow, even if it slows it down by 20%, when I'm on a throttle, or, my plan is to go up to the dunes one of these days, and I figure, this thing's going to be working hard. So I want to keep this thing cool. The radiator keeps it cool, but it's got an internal oil cooler. So, why not let the block get some air too? Let the air flow around everything. So, anyways, this is just a vlog of, maybe it's a little bit boring, but you know what? For the guys out there that are building these things, believe me, this is a big deal. It's bigger than what it seems. Finding the right spot for all your stuff. So, Banshee Fever 750, a little tidbit, and a little update on the ZX7R Banshee. Banshee Fever 750, over and out.